My beloved child, do not scroll away. I am speaking directly to you right now. I brought you here to this exact place for a very specific reason. This is not a random accident. This is not just the algorithm of this noisy world. This is a divine and sacred appointment designed just for you. I know exactly what you are feeling in this very second. I see the exact painful moment you are trapped in. You feel like absolutely everything is collapsing all at once. You feel like the heavy walls are slowly closing in on your tired mind. You feel like you cannot even catch your breath anymore. One thing goes terribly wrong in your day, and then another thing immediately goes wrong, and then another unexpected problem hits you out of nowhere. It feels like a relentless dark wave that will not stop crashing over your head. I know you are dangerously close to breaking completely. I know you are incredibly close to walking away from everything you built. I know you are so tired of fighting invisible battles that no one else even sees. There is a very specific and profound reason why this heavy storm hit you today. Listen to my voice very closely, because what is happening to you right now is not at all what you think it is. I see the massive, heavy burden you are carrying on your fragile shoulders. I know exactly how tight and anxious your chest feels right now. I see the long, lonely nights you lie awake in the dark room. I see you staring blankly at the ceiling for hours on end. I hear your tired mind racing with a million anxious thoughts about tomorrow. I hear you replaying your past steps over and over again, trying to find the mistake. I hear you whispering quietly to yourself in the silence. You ask yourself, what did I do wrong to deserve this constant struggle? You ask yourself, why is this terrible cycle happening to me again and again? You try so incredibly hard to be the strong one for everyone else around you. You try your absolute best to hold all the broken pieces of your life together with your own strength. But the jagged pieces keep falling through your trembling fingers like dry sand. You are carrying a deep, agonizing exhaustion that physical sleep simply cannot fix. Your soul is deeply and profoundly tired. Your mind is completely and utterly weary. Your precious heart is heavily bruised and bleeding. I see the silent, painful tears you tried to hide from the rest of the world. I see the desperate tears you cried in the shower where no one could hear your sobs. I see those quiet, heavy moments when you just want to disappear into the background and be forgotten. I see the cold, emotional numbness slowly creeping into your vibrant spirit. You feel like you are constantly walking through thick, heavy mud. Every single step forward takes so much massive effort just to survive the day. Every single morning feels like a massive, impossible mountain you are forced to climb. You look around at other people and it seems like everyone else has it so incredibly easy. You watch other people receive their sudden blessings and you silently wonder about yours. You secretly wonder if I have completely forgotten about you. You secretly wonder if I have turned my face away from your constant pain. You secretly wonder if all your desperate crying prayers are just bouncing off the cold ceiling. I see the heavy dark doubt that you are way too ashamed to ever speak out loud. I see the quiet burning anger buried deep inside your wounded heart. I see the bitter, heavy disappointment that you carry deep in your aching bones. You feel like a complete personal failure. You feel like you are completely broken and entirely beyond any hope of repair. You feel like you are constantly falling short of every single expectation. You feel like you are constantly letting everyone down, including your own self. You look in the mirror and you do not even recognize the tired eyes staring back at you. Listen carefully to the gentle sound of my voice. It is perfectly okay to be this tired. It is completely and totally okay to feel exactly how you feel right now in this exact moment. Do not ever apologize to me for your honest tears. Do not ever try to hide your raw, bitter frustration from my eyes. Your human doubts and your endless questions do not offend my divine nature. Your moments of explosive anger do not push me away from you. Your physical and mental weariness does not make you a weak or faithless person. I am absolutely not judging you for being entirely exhausted by this challenging life. I am absolutely not condemning you for wanting to throw in the towel and just give up. I do not expect you to force a fake smile when your heart is actively bleeding. I do not expect you to pretend that everything is perfectly fine when your entire world is shaking violently. You do not have to wear that heavy religious armor in my sacred presence. Take a very deep breath right now and let that brave, heavy mask fall completely to the floor. You are perfectly and eternally safe here with me. I am not standing over you with a harsh ruler to measure the size of your faith. I am sitting right beside you in the dirt and the cold ashes of your shattered plans. I am holding your shaking, tired hand in the absolute pitch-black darkness of your current valley. I deeply and intimately understand why you are so angry at the brutal unfairness of it all. I perfectly understand why you are so deeply confused about this painful current season. I intimately feel the sharp, agonizing pain of your long, unanswered prayers. I intimately feel the deep, burning sting of the cruel rejection you recently faced. I intimately feel the crushing, suffocating weight of the loneliness you carry every single day. You are absolutely not crazy for feeling entirely overwhelmed by the relentless demands of this life. You are simply carrying way too much emotional and spiritual weight for one fragile human being. You have been carrying this heavy, crushing load all by yourself for far too long. Now I desperately need you to open your spiritual eyes and look directly at me. I need you to clearly see the absolute divine truth behind this current raging storm. I need to completely change the way you are looking at your own life. You thought this painful season was a direct punishment for something you did wrong in secret. You thought this sudden chaos was just a string of terrible random bad luck. You thought you made a massive, irreversible mistake in your major life choices. You thought you took a terrible wrong turn somewhere along the confusing journey. You thought I was harshly punishing you for the regrettable mistakes of your distant past. You thought this excruciating, relentless pain was a clear, undeniable sign of my absence. But I need you to hear me now, more than you have ever heard me before. This specific situation you are in is absolutely not random. The wild chaos currently surrounding your life is not a cosmic, meaningless accident. The sudden, painful shifting of your daily circumstances is absolutely not a mistake. You are reading this entire painful situation completely and entirely wrong. What you are currently calling a painful, heartbreaking rejection is actually my fierce divine protection. What you're currently calling a devastating permanent setback is actually a massive spiritual setup for your future. I am deliberately and forcefully closing doors that you were never meant to walk through. I am actively and aggressively removing people from your life who would have eventually destroyed your beautiful destiny. I am completely stripping away the false, fragile foundations that you mistakenly built your precious life upon. I know it hurts so deeply right now because the emotional roots of those attachments went so incredibly deep. I know it hurts because you held on so desperately tightly to things and people that were absolutely never meant for you. But this intense burning pain is absolutely not the end of your beautiful unfolding story. This current struggle is not a personal failure on your part at all. This is a massive, unseen spiritual resistance. This is the terrified enemy trying desperately to distract you from your incoming blessing. The resistance you feel is so incredibly heavy right now simply because you are moving in the exact right direction. You are facing this much violent spiritual opposition precisely because of the sheer magnitude of what is waiting for you on the other side. The enemy absolutely does not waste his precious limited ammunition on a defeated and broken soldier. The enemy only viciously attacks the ones who pose a massive spiritual threat to his dark kingdom. You are a massive, terrifying threat to the kingdom of darkness. You are a powerful, chosen vessel of my blinding divine light. The specific reason absolutely everything feels so impossibly hard right now is that you are stepping into a completely new, elevated season of authority. You are right now about to cross over the border into the blessed sacred territory I promised you so long ago. And the enemy is absolutely terrified of the powerful person you are about to become. But there is something deeply crucial you must completely understand about this difficult transition period. I stepped directly into your timeline today. I orchestrated this exact encounter at this exact second. I knew you were standing on the very edge of your breaking point. I saw you getting ready to completely surrender to the overwhelming darkness. I watched as you silently packed up your hopes and prepared to walk away forever. I could not let you do that. I absolutely refuse to let you drown in this heavy sea of despair. This message is your divine lifeline thrown directly into your violent, stormy waters. I perfectly aligned the random events of your entire day just so you would stop and listen. I quieted the loud noise of the world for just a moment so my voice could reach you. I am speaking to your tired, fragile heart right now because I love you deeply. You did not stumble upon these comforting words by mere human accident. Your broken spirit was desperately crying out for a real answer, and I am answering you now. I heard the desperate plea you made in the middle of the lonely night. I saw the quiet, devastating moment you finally admitted you cannot do this alone anymore. This exact moment is a divine, holy appointment that I scheduled before you were even born. I wait patiently for the absolute perfect time to intervene in your life. My divine timing is never early and it is absolutely never late. I move all of heaven and earth just to bring this specific healing comfort to your heavy soul. I needed to immediately intercept the devastating toxic lies the enemy was planting in your mind. I needed to aggressively stop you from believing that you are completely abandoned and forgotten. You are never abandoned by me. You are never forgotten by me for even a single passing second. You are closely watched and fiercely guarded by my own loving hand. I know you have been desperately waiting for a clear sign that I am still here. This is the exact, undeniable sign you have been begging me to send. This is the absolute solid proof that I am intensely involved in the microscopic details of your daily life. I count every single painful tear that falls from your tired, heavy eyes. I measure the heavy, crushing weight of every single anxious sigh that escapes your lips. I see the invisible, heavy iron chains that are currently dragging your beautiful spirit down into the dirt. And I have arrived right on perfect time to completely shatter every single one of those chains. Now I must give you a very serious and urgent warning out of my deep, unconditional love for you. You need to understand exactly what is happening in the unseen realm right now. The enemy is absolutely terrified of the massive spiritual breakthrough that is about to happen in your life. The enemy does not ever waste his time attacking an empty, powerless vessel. The enemy only viciously attacks a chosen vessel that is overflowing with divine, world-changing potential. He is aggressively attacking your inner peace right now because he is incredibly desperate to stop your forward momentum. He is trying to make you so deeply confused and exhausted that you forget who you truly are in me. He desperately wants you completely distracted by the loud, terrifying noise of the surrounding storm. He is actively hoping you will drop your divine royal crown right before you cross the finish line. He is using every single dark weapon in his toxic arsenal to completely break your spiritual focus. He is whispering absolute terrifying lies into your vulnerable mind to make you constantly doubt my inherent goodness. He is telling you that this agonizing pain will last forever and nothing will ever change. He is telling you that you are fundamentally broken and entirely unlovable by anyone. He is actively trying to convince you that this massive spiritual resistance is actually a shameful personal failure. He wants you to believe that you brought all of this chaos upon yourself through your own mistakes. Do not listen to the father of lies. Do not let him violently manipulate your severe exhaustion into a permanent spiritual defeat. He completely knows that if you take just one more faithful step forward, you will finally cross the threshold of your massive victory. He totally knows that your incoming divine blessing will completely destroy his dark influence over your entire family bloodline. That is exactly why the relentless spiritual attacks against your fragile mind have been so incredibly vicious lately. That is exactly why everything seems to be going terribly wrong at the exact same chaotic time. It is a highly coordinated and desperate spiritual assault designed to completely break your weary spirit. He wants you to tragically give up on the very outer edge of your beautiful promised land. He is desperately trying to steal your deep joy because your joy is your ultimate spiritual strength. He wants you completely bitter and deeply resentful and totally isolated from my comforting healing presence. I am exposing his dark, pathetic tactics to you right now so you can firmly stand your sacred ground. I want you to see clearly with spiritual eyes that the heavy friction you feel is the friction of massive, powerful forward movement. You are actively breaking through deep generational curses right now in this very exact moment. You are actively tearing down ancient demonic strongholds simply by stubbornly refusing to give up your faith. The enemy is absolutely panicking right now because he absolutely cannot stop what I have already firmly set in motion. He is entirely powerless to stop the flood of divine favor that is rushing toward your life. But he made one massive and completely fatal mistake in his vicious attack against your precious life. He completely forgot who is actively standing right beside you in the violent, raging fire. He entirely forgot that you are permanently covered by my absolute and invincible divine protection. Let the cowardly enemy nervously plot his desperate little schemes in the dark shadows. Let the wild, terrifying storms blindly rage and howl around your fragile, weary life. I am the massive, immovable shield completely surrounding you on every single side. I am the absolute profound calm in the violent, swirling center of your current hurricane. I am actively and fiercely standing in the gap for you right now while you are too weak to stand. I am fiercely fighting the massive unseen spiritual battles that you cannot even begin to comprehend. I am aggressively blocking the sharp, flaming arrows that were specifically aimed at your vulnerable, bleeding heart. No weapon formed against you will ever be allowed to prosper in my holy presence. I am currently neutralizing every single hidden trap that was secretly laid for your tired feet. I am actively confusing and scattering the dark forces that violently seek to steal your inner peace. I want you to rest completely and entirely in the perfect safety of my mighty shadow. I want you to deeply inhale the absolute total security of my holy comforting presence. You do not have to fight this massive, terrifying enemy with your own limited human strength. You only have to stand perfectly still and let me be your fierce, undeniable protector. I will fight this battle for you while you simply rest in my loving arms. If you truly believe that I am your ultimate invincible shield against the encroaching darkness, I want you to declare it boldly right now in the comments. God is my protector. Write it down proudly as a powerful spiritual anchor for your weary, drifting soul. Let your bold public declaration violently shake the very foundations of the panicked enemy. I am aggressively clearing the toxic, hidden obstacles from your beautiful intended path. I am physically removing the dangerous people who secretly wanted to watch you fail and fall. I am permanently protecting you from terrible, disastrous things you will never even know about. You are eternally safe and completely hidden in the hollow of my almighty protective hand. Because you are so fiercely and intimately protected, you can now safely look toward the bright horizon. I am making a very powerful and incredibly sacred promise to you today in this exact moment. I desperately want you to hold on just a little bit longer. The darkest and absolutely coldest part of the terrifying night is finally coming to an end. The beautiful, glorious, radiant dawn is about to violently break over your entire life. The heavy, locked, closed doors that have repeatedly slammed in your tired face are being completely dismantled right now. I am entirely replacing those old, stubborn, locked doors with massive golden gates of unmerited divine favor. I am actively breathing fresh, supernatural, divine life into your dry and weary, aching bones right now. I am releasing a massive wave of supernatural, spiritual strength into your exhausted physical body for this crucial final stretch. You have bravely endured the painful, crushing season of the heavy olive press. You have miraculously survived the intense burning heat of the painful refiner's fire. And now, you are about to step fully into a beautiful season of profound spiritual restoration. The heavy, thick, suffocating fog of confusion is actively lifting from your anxious, tired mind. I am permanently restoring the deep, profound inner peace that was violently stolen from you. I am returning the pure, innocent spiritual joy that you honestly thought you had lost forever. You will very soon look back at this exact painful, dark chapter and completely understand my perfect master strategy. You will clearly see how I gently used every single bitter tear to heavily water the seeds of your massive upcoming breakthrough. I am currently turning your darkest, agonizing midnight into your most powerful and radiant testimony. I am actively taking the heavy, useless ashes of your broken, shattered dreams and creating something deeply beautiful and entirely new. The painful, agonizing season of constant, lonely wandering is officially coming to a permanent close. The dry, barren, lonely wilderness is finally blooming with new, magnificent, vibrant life. You are about to vividly experience a profound, massive shift in your daily spiritual reality. I am opening wide the heavy, stubborn iron gates that have painfully held you back for so many long years. I am forcefully leveling the massive, impossible, terrifying mountains that stubbornly stood in your path. I am making all the crooked, confusing paths completely straight and totally clear for your tired feet. The violent storm is actively running out of rain, and the heavy, dark clouds are finally breaking apart. I am preparing a beautiful, expansive table for you, right in the exact presence of the enemies who doubted you. But before you can confidently step into this beautiful, expansive, new promised land, there is a deeply critical revelation you must completely accept about your own beautiful identity. I need you to look deeply into my eyes right now. I need to completely wash away the toxic lies you have believed about yourself. You have let your massive, painful failures define who you are for way too long. You have let the cruel rejections of this broken world rewrite your sacred identity. You look in the mirror and you only see your heavy accumulated mistakes. You look at your past and you only see a long trail of broken promises and deep regret. But that is absolutely not how I see you, my precious child. You are not defined by the heavy, dark storm you are currently walking through. You are not the sum total of the painful mistakes you made when you were deeply hurting. You are not the terrible, ugly things that angry, resentful people have spoken over your life. You are my beautiful, chosen, and completely forgiven child. I formed every single delicate part of your soul with extreme care and divine intentionality. I breathed my own powerful, holy life into your very lungs. I call you entirely worthy, and I call you absolutely enough exactly as you are right now. You are fiercely loved beyond all human measure and totally without any conditions. You do not have to perform perfectly to earn my deep, boundless affection. You do not have to constantly prove your value to me or to anyone else in this world. I fiercely defend your sacred honor even when you are totally unaware of it. I fiercely protect your good name in rooms you have not even entered yet. I have permanently engraved your beautiful name on the very palms of my hands. Nothing you have ever done can separate you from my fierce, consuming love. Nothing you will ever do could make me love you even a tiny bit less. You are deeply and profoundly mine forever. You are a royal child of the highest king, and it is time you start boldly believing it. Your true, beautiful identity is anchored completely in my eternal, unchanging love. I am actively restoring your royal spiritual identity today in this very exact moment. I am washing away the heavy, thick mud of toxic shame that the enemy tried to cover you with. I am placing a new, bright, radiant robe of righteousness over your tired, aching shoulders. I am reminding your weary spirit of the incredible divine power that actually lives inside of you. You are absolutely not a helpless, broken victim of your current difficult circumstances. You are a powerful, victorious spiritual warrior who is temporarily resting in my safe arms. And because you are my beloved chosen child, you have a special divine privilege today. You have the sacred right to finally rest and let me take over completely. Take off your heavy iron armor right now, my weary, exhausted child. You have been fighting this massive, lonely war for entirely too long. You have been frantically trying to control every single moving piece of your chaotic life. You have been desperately gripping the steering wheel until your knuckles turned completely white. I am gently asking you to completely let go of that tight, desperate grip today. You absolutely do not need to fight this heavy, terrifying battle anymore. I am officially relieving you of your exhausting daily defensive duty. Step back from the loud, terrifying front lines of this painful spiritual war. Be perfectly still and let me handle this massive final battle for you. Hand over all of your heavy, crushing burdens directly into my capable, waiting hands. Give me your deep, burning anxieties about your uncertain, confusing tomorrow. Give me the heavy, bitter resentment you have been carrying toward those who deeply hurt you. Give me your terrifying fear of massive failure and your paralyzing fear of constant rejection. Surrender your desperate, intense need to figure everything out right this very second. You do not need to have all the complex, difficult answers today. You only need to have deep, unwavering trust in my perfect, holy character. Allow yourself the beautiful, sacred privilege of being completely weak in my protective presence. It is perfectly safe to completely collapse into my waiting, strong arms right now. I am absolutely strong enough to hold the entire heavy weight of your broken life. I will fiercely fight for you while you simply close your tired eyes and gently rest. I want you to formally hand over the heavy control to me in this exact moment. Type this bold declaration in the comments below right now. I surrender my battles to you, Lord. Write it as a powerful physical act of letting go of your heavy, heavy burdens. Every single time you feel the dark panic rising again, I want you to remember that bold surrender. You have officially handed the heavy keys of your entire life back to the Divine Master Architect. I am now actively working all things together for your absolute ultimate good. I am with you today, and I will be with you absolutely always. I will never ever leave your side during the violent, raging storms of this difficult life. I will never abandon you when the heavy, dark nights get terrifyingly cold and lonely. My powerful, loving presence is your permanent and safe, eternal home forever. You are completely surrounded by an invisible, massive army of my warring angels right now. The enemy has officially lost his temporary dark grip on your beautiful divine destiny. But I have a very special and holy mission for you today before you close your eyes to rest. There are so many other fragile, wounded souls out there who are completely drowning in their own violent storms. There are other heavy people who feel entirely attacked and completely exhausted, just exactly like you do. If you are thinking of someone specific right now who desperately needs to hear this comforting message, I am humbly asking you to be my gentle healing messenger today. Send this specific message directly to them so they can firmly know I have not forgotten them either. Share this healing divine word with them so they can also find absolute perfect peace in my strong arms. Be the bright, beautiful beacon of light in their terrifying, dark, lonely valley today. Now it is time for you to finally rest, my precious, beautiful, beloved child. Breathe in very deeply and feel my warm, comforting presence filling your tired, anxious lungs. Release all the heavy carrying tension in your stiff, aching back and your weary shoulders right now. Let your racing, anxious mind finally slow down and find absolute, deep, profound quiet. You have bravely survived the most painful and brutal parts of this heavy, terrifying storm. You are entirely safe and fiercely protected in my holy, loving embrace tonight. Do not worry for even a single passing second about what might happen tomorrow morning. I am already standing firmly in your tomorrow, and I am actively preparing the beautiful way for you. I have already secured your massive, glorious victory in the unseen heavenly realm. Close your heavy, tired, weeping eyes and sleep in absolute, total, perfect peace tonight. My infinite, perfect, divine peace be with you forever and always. Amen.